Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is another session, the second tutorial of the series that I have come up for the development of the software, and the platform that we are using is MS Access 2016. So this is the platform that we are using for developing the software, and the software that we are developing is the student report card software. So in my first tutorial, we had learned how to design this form, and we are actually trying to come up with a form that is this one. So this is a form that we are trying to design, and almost all we had got everything, that is the frame, the fields, and the buttons also we had developed in my previous tutorial. Everything was done. Now all those who are watching this video, this is a live video going on, it's a live stream. And if you're watching this video for the first time, so there was one previous video in which we had started working on this software, and we are developing this software live. Also, let me tell you, this entire file along with the source code will be available to you on the Google Drive, which I will be sharing, and the link will be provided after the streaming gets over. The link will be provided to you in the description section of the video. So you can just click on that and you can download this file and you can study. So in the last tutorial, we had designed almost all everything, and this is what we had designed in the last video. And we had the controls and everything was working. We had one record also. The buttons, okay, just for first and last few buttons we have tested, but rest of the buttons also we will test it. But the thing is, now we are supposed to deal with the class ID and the section ID. Now if you look at this particular form, and this is a combo, that is a combo box. So if I click over here, and there are list of classes over here for class, and if I click to the section, and there are list of sections. So the thing is, when the user will be entering the data for the students, so he will enter all the data for the student, and then from the combo box he will select a particular class to assign to that particular student, and then he or she will also assign a section to that particular student. So how to design this combo box is what we are going to do today. So let us start. Now, if you can remember, in the previous tutorial, we had designed three buttons. Sorry, not the three buttons. We had designed three tables. So that was the class table, the class section table, and the student table. So if you open this table, you can see this was the record that we had entered in the previous tutorial. And we did this with the help of the form that we had designed. So over here we had done the data entry, but the data gets stored in the table, and this is the table, and you can see that the record has got stored. Now what we are supposed to do is we are going to use the concept of RDBMS, and you're going to learn what exactly is RDBMS in this particular tutorial. So there are three tables, and the reason we have three tables is we cannot have just one table and enter everything into it. Because if we give this form and just keep this as a simple text, and the user can enter the name of the class. So every time he enters a name of a class, he can enter it in a different way. For example, class 2 can be entered as a Roman number or as a digit 2. So every time the user can enter some different characters, and that should not be allowed. So to overcome this problem, we have the RDBMS concept, and for that we are going to link the tables. Now for linking the tables, what we are going to do is, there are three tables: class, class section, and student. So first thing you're supposed to do is go to the database tools. Just click on this, and over here there is something called as relationship. Now we are going to build the relationship in this particular, okay, I'll just delete this and I will show you again how to do it. we are going to build the relationship between the tables, and for that you will have this particular blank relationship. So give a right click and there is an option called as show table. Click on that and then you can see the three tables over here. So click on add for class, then select the class section where we are going to store the sections, and the student table, even that you have to add, and then close it. And you can see that, okay, for your understanding I will just delete all this and show you from scratch what we are supposed to do. Maybe once you do this, maybe that relationship won't be coming automatically. You have to build the relationship. Now the rdbms concept says that this id is the primary key of class, and this id is the primary key for the section table where we're going to store the section, and over here this is the primary key of the student table, and you can see all the fields of that table. And at the last, for the student table, there are two fields, that is class ID and section ID. Now, these two IDs for the table student will be called as the foreign key. Now, why this is the foreign key is because we are going to store the primary key of this particular table in this particular field of the student table. So anything we make changes in the class table will be reflected in student table as well. So to build the relationship, what we are supposed to do is just select that particular field, that is the class ID. Just select that particular field, that is class ID, and just drag it to the ID of the class table and just leave the button. And then this particular pop-up menu, a pop-up window will come to set the relationship. So it says for class table, the ID, which is a primary key, will be related to the class ID of the student table. And over here, this is, that is the enforce referential integrity. We are not going to work with this at this moment. Simply you have to click on create, and now you can see that the class ID is connected, that is the foreign key is connected to the primary key of class. Similarly, for section we are going to have this primary key, that is the foreign key in fact, and connected to the primary key of class section. So let me just do that and just leave it. And now the again the same thing, the same window has come up. So we are not going to do anything, we're not going to do any kind of enforce referential integrity. All that in future we will see to this. Click on create, and now you can see that this is the relationship that we have built between the three tables. And now we can say that these three tables are connected, are linked with each other. After you do this, just click on close, and it will ask you whether you want to save this relationship between the tables that you have made, whether you want to save it or not. You have to just click on yes. Now we have kind of connected the tables. Now the next step is go to the student form. Just open that form in design view. Just give a right click and design view. So this is a design view, and over here you can see the class ID. Just select that and give a right click, and there is an option called as change to. Over there again there is one more menu, and from here you have to select combo box, and now this will become a combo box control. So this is just a control that we have created, that is a combo box. We have converted that text box into a combo box, that's it, and nothing more than that. Same thing I will do for the section ID as well. Go to change to and convert that control in a combo box. Now these are two combo boxes, and now comes the real thing, is how we are going to have that data. And now, for having that data, first thing is that we are going to feed data in this class table. Okay, let us just do that first. Go to that class table, and now you can see the class table is empty. Now we are going to have a form for the class table also, and we are going to have a form for the student, for the class section also. But at this point, we will be directly entering the data into this table. and just I will give a click, and I will say this is a class 1 and this is class 2. That's it. There are two classes I created. And then simply just close that. Go to the class section where we are going to create the section. So this table is basically going to store the sections. So class, the section A and section B. Two sections and two classes I have just created. Now, please understand, again, I repeat, this is something we are doing the data entry directly in the table as a programmer, as a designer, but the user will have a form, and through that form only, he will be entering the data. Close it. Now we have the data in class and in class section also. Now this is a combo box. Please select the class ID and then go to the property sheet. If you do not find the property sheet, just press F4. Press F4 and this property sheet will come up. It will show this property sheet. Then in this, you have to go to the data. There are tabs. Go to the data tab. Under that, you can see that there is a property that is row source. Over there is one drop down. You don't have to do anything with this, and there is three dots over here. Just click on that, and this will take you to the query builder. This is a query builder where we can write a simple query. In fact, we are not going to write a query. We have a query builder, and we will just set which all fields that we want. Okay, so, and then there is this window that says show table. These are the tables. There are three tables, and we are going to select the class table and click on add and click on close. After this, what you need to do is you have to, okay, there are two ways you can select fields over here. First is like I want the ID, which is a primary key. It is very, very important. Just double click on that and you can see it will come over here. That is a table, is a class. In future, you can have multiple tables. So you can choose the table and the field. So you can do it from here also. Like I can select the table, that is class. And from that table, I will select the another field, that is the class name. So these are the two fields. So understand that the combo box is going to have two fields, two columns. First will be the ID column and the second will be the class name column. Two columns we will be having in the combo box. I will show you that there are two columns. And then click on close over here and it will ask you whether you want to save this. So you have to click on yes. And then we will come back to the original window, the original screen, and still the job is not done. Now under the data tab, you can see bound column is 1. You have to keep this as it is. This basically means that I'm going to bound that first column, that is the first field. And what was the first field in that query builder? The first field was the ID. So that value of ID will get stored in the class ID because class ID is the foreign key. So that primary key of the class table will get stored in the class ID. This is what it means. So this will be 1 as it is by default. It is, keep it as it is. And then go to format tab. Now under the format tab, there is one property which says column count. The column count, you're going to not going to keep it as it is because there are two columns as I've shown in that particular query, that query builder. There were two columns, that is ID and second was the class name. So there are two columns. So I will change this to 2. So you have to make this as 2. This is very important. Similarly, the same thing, I will do it for section ID also. I will go to the property sheet of the data tab and then the source, the row source, click at the small, that is the 3 dots. It will come, you will come to the query builder, select the class section table, click on add, click on close. And again, I will choose the ID and then the section name. So you see, you can see there are two columns. This will be the first column and this is the second column for the combo box. click on close, say yes, and then again bound column will be 1. Go to format. Over here the column count will now become 2 because there are 2 columns. Now just to show you how the columns will look like, I will run this form. Just you can press F5 and the form will run. I will just maximize this, and now you can see the class ID. If you click over here, you can see that there are 2 columns. That is, the first one is the ID, which is a primary key, but we are not concerned with that. We are concerned with this value. In fact, the user is actually not concerned with that. And if you click over here, you can see that is A and B, and this is the ID, that is a primary key. Now, for the user point of view, if you if you think, it is very, the user is actually not concerned with this ID, so it will kind of confuse him that what exactly this number is. So let us hide this ID for the class ID and for the section ID as well. Give a right click, go to design view. Now in the design view, select the class ID, and you can see the property sheet, that is the format. Over here we had made the column count as 2, and just below that there is one more property, that is the column width. Over here, just keep the first column I want to be of 0 centimeter, which means the width of the first column of this combo box will be 0. And when the width is 0, that particular column will not be visible to the user. I will do this for section as well. Column width, first column will be the 0 centimeter, and then the semicolon. I'm also giving a semicolon. Now, if you just run this form, maximize this, and you can see if I click over here, and now you can see it will only show me the class names, and this it will only show me the section names. So this is the concept of our DBMS, and we have also bound the first column of this particular combo box with the class ID. Now class ID, section ID, the name is not good. So we can change this, for the user point of view, we will make this as only class, and this I can only keep it as section. Now for the user point of view, it's very clear that yes, I have to select a class from here, and similarly I have to select a section. Now if you run this, everything, you can see almost all the things are done. So this is the first record, and if I go to last record, there is no last record because there is only one record. So let us add few records, and for that already we had designed these buttons in the previous tutorial. So you have to just click on add record, and let us see whether this actually works or not, because we have not tested all the buttons in the previous tutorial. So click on the add record, and you can see there is a blank form in front of you. Now the user can enter the record. So I will enter some dummy data. First name, this time I will give like Raghav. That is the student name. Gender is must, so I'll give gender. I also, last time I have not shown you how does the date of birth is going to work. So if you click on that particular text box, and you can see a small calendar icon in front of you, just click on that and you can see a very beautiful layout of a calendar is in front of you. So the user can easily select any date, and that date will be set. Similarly, for the admission also, you can see the same thing, and you can select any date. So that's done. And I told you, you do not need to click on the save record, because by default MS Access will save the records. So now if I click on the first record, it will take me to the first record. And if I click on to the next record, it will take me to the next record. And again, if I click, then there is no records actually. Okay, so again I go back to the first record. Now in the first record I want to make some changes, and the changes is, in this particular record I had not assigned any class and section to the student. So let us do some editing for this particular record. Let me just assign the class, that is class 1, and from here I can assign the section, that is section A, and that's it. And now if you just go to the last record, this is the last record that I just entered, and again if you go to the first record, and you can see the data is present. Also, if you see the table, I will show you the table, how the data has got stored. This is the table, and if you go to the last field, you can see that there is a data that is present. Now what is this 3, number 3 and number 3 over here? Number 3 is the primary key, that is the ID of class. So we are not storing the data, we are only storing the primary key number. So if you go to the class table, you can see that number 3 is actually that class 1. And same for section, you can see that number 3 is actually section A. If anything, I make a change, for example, this is 1. Now just to show you, user can enter 1 also. If I make this change as 1 and not the Roman 1, so I just have this digit 1, or just for your understanding, I have typed a word that is 1. So this will get reflected, reflected everywhere. So now if I save this and I'll close this, everything, and now if I run this particular form, that is a student form, and you will see that now that thing that I changed over here got reflected over here. And this is the importance of RDBMS, and this is why RDBMS software is so important for us. So anything you make changes will get reflected everywhere. And also RDBMS helps us to for the data redundancy, that is duplication of data does not the problem of duplication of data will not be there with RDBMS. So this is the concept of RDBMS. I hope you have understood this. So almost all everything we have done, the form is in front of you. Now there is a, like, the height of the form is quite big, so I have to scroll down to go to this button. So just few little changes that I will make. Go to design view, and you can see that. Let me just take these buttons, adjust it. Also I can adjust the height of this particular frame. So these are small little adjustments you can do so that a complete layout is in front of you. So almost all I have just decreased the height of the form. Now let me just run this form and see the output, and you can see now there is no scroll, that I don't have to scroll down and up. Entire form is in front of you. Now the next step is, that is the picture, how to have the picture. And for that, first let me just show you what we are going to achieve is this particular form, and a few other things are left, that is this data sheet. Even that we are going to understand how to have this data sheet. But first we will understand how to have this picture. And if I click on insert picture, I will have this window coming up, and then I can choose any picture and click on open, and that picture will get set over here. So how to do this? Now to achieve this, there is a bit of VBA coding that we have to do. So already I will show you the design view of this particular form, which has already been designed. And over here there is a code that is this. So if the user will click on this button, that is the insert picture, and the event that I've used is on click event, and once I click on this, this will take me to the the code window. And in the code window, this is the code. Now do not get scared by this code. This is very simple, and it is a very standard code for inserting a picture into a image control. So let us do this practically with our form, that is this one. Now two controls that we require, that is, first is the image. So this, go to design and you will find the image control. Click on that and then drag it and just set the height and width of that image, and then immediately it will just have this window open in front of you to select the picture. But at this point I'm not going to select, the user is going to select the picture, and then that picture will be set for that particular record. Next is just go to design, and again the controls, go for one button and just set it over here. And then this is going to take me to the command button wizard, and we are not going to do anything with these operations. So simply you have to click on cancel, because we are supposed to do some coding with this. Now by default the name of the button is command 95, so let me just change that, and I will type over here that is insert picture. You can do this also with the property sheet, and under property sheet format, and the property is caption, and you can type it over here. Next thing is we have to give a proper name to this command button. So for that, click on others, and over here you have to give a proper name so that while coding we can understand, okay, for which button we are actually doing the coding. So over here I will say cmd and underscore, and I will say insert and pick. That's more than sufficient. That's the name of the that's the name of the command button. After this, then click on the event, and over here there is a event that is on click, which means when the user will click onto this, there will be a set of code that we need to get fired. We have to get that code executed. So for that, just do not click anything over here. There is a small three dots, click on that, and then it will ask you to which builder I want. I want the code builder, and just click on OK. So this will take me to the code window, and over here you can see that is a private sub. This is a pure VBA code, and that is the name of the command button, and the event that we are going to write the code is the click event. And then what I will do is, this is the standard code. I will simply copy this, and I will also explain you a bit about this code, but this is a very standard code for inserting the image from a window to the picture from a window to a particular image control, and I will paste it over here. Now the work is not yet over. There are a lot of things that we have to do, and that is, first is we have to click on the tools, and there is a references option. We have to include a library. Now that library is, for by default there will be 4 libraries. If you see, if you are doing it as a practice, you will see 4 libraries, that is Visual Basic for application and Microsoft Access 16 object library, OLE automation, and the 4th one will be this one. But there will be one more library with the same name, that is the second one, and you can see already I have just selected that library, but you have to search it. So make sure you search, and with the same name you will find one more library, and just tick on that, and then you have to click on OK. This is very important if you want this code to run. This will help to actually evoke the Windows that is basically belongs to your Windows operating system. So that same window we are going to evoke with this particular code, and so we need to include that library. Now if you focus on this code, it is on error. If there is any kind of error, this is an exceptional handling. If you have any idea of exceptional handling, then you will understand this. If not, no problem. It is something that any kind of exception occurs in this particular code which you cannot imagine, still that such an error still can be handled. So that is exceptional handling. And then we have this variable fd as file dialog. Now this is an object. Also this application is an object which we with the help of this object, that window is going to get open. And then with that variable, that is fd, now this is the width and the keyword, and with that variable we are just initializing few properties, that is the initial file name will be .jpg. So when the window gets open, by default it is going to show you the jpg files. Initial view will be the file dialog view list, so that is the list of files will be in a list form and not in some other form, not in the picture form. Allow multiple select, I said false, so the user cannot select multiple files, and the title of that window will be select picture. Please select a picture. That will be the title of that window. And once that window will show and things are working fine, this will go true. If it is true, then there is a variable that is select file is equal to, that is fd dot selected items, that will get stored in the select file. And then this is me dot image 107. Now what is the name of the control of our image control, that we have to check. Me means that is the reference to the form, so form dot image 107. Now we will check that. So let me just check the name of the control, that is the image control. Go to others and you can see the name of our control is image 94. So just copy this and we will paste it over here. And then it says me dot link picture. Now this is the name of the control, that is the picture field. So let me just go to the form again and check what is the name of a control. So this is the picture field. So over here basically it is going to show the path where I have stored the picture. So let me just check the name, that is a link picture itself. So if there is any other name you want to give, you can give any name, and then that name should reflect in the code. So you can keep the name as link picture itself. I've just made these changes before the beginning of the tutorial. So you can give any name out here and that name should reflect over here. So link picture and everything is working fine. So that will set focus, and then for that particular text box, that is text will be that selected file which will help to display the path where what exactly the picture path is. So basically we are not storing any picture in the database, we are just storing that path of that particular file, and that's it. So let us just try to run this now and see if it runs or not. If it doesn't run, we will do something. We are going to just cross check, and definitely it's going to run. So click on insert picture and you can see that this window has opened in front of you, and now you can choose any picture. Now I have stored certain pictures in my pen drive. So I will go to that particular picture that is under this folder 2018 and class 1, and these are the pictures. Now you can see the list. This is a list got displayed. Now the picture has not got displayed. This is a list because we have set that in our code. So I'll just select the picture, and now you can see that picture has appeared over here. Everything is working fine. Now let us just run this form again and see what happens. If I run this form again, the picture is, it is not showing me the picture over here. This is the picture that I set for the name, that is Ajay, but now it is not showing. But you can see the path over here. It is showing the path, what was the path of that particular picture, but the picture is not getting displayed over here. To overcome this problem, you have to go to design view, and in the design view just select the image control and then go to the property sheet. Under property sheet you have to go to the data tab. Under the data tab there is a property that is control source. Click over there and select the picture field. That's it. So now that picture field is basically going to store that path. So that path will get assigned to this control source, and then the picture will get displayed. Now, if you run this, you can see the picture now got displayed. And if I go to the last record, I have not selected the picture. So I can select a picture, and this time select another picture, and this picture got set for Raghav. So this is how you can select a picture into a form. So for the user point of view, now everything is so easy. So I hope that you have understood. I have I tried my level best to make you understand. Now, this file will be available to you once the streaming gets over. I'm going to upload this file onto my Google Drive, and that drive I'm going to share it with you. So the link will be available to you in the description section of the video. So you can click on that link and this file will be readily available. You can download, you can study, and you can try to build the same application, you know, with a blank database, and then for your practice purpose, and then you can learn a lot of things how exactly our DBMS is so important for storing the data. And what I showed you about the tables, how to link the tables, and then once we link the table, how to actually get the data into that, how to get that primary key into the foreign key using that combo box. Even that I have shown you. So I hope that you have understood today's tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to build some more forms, and that is the forms that is for class and class section, which is very easy. Simply we are going to just take the ready-made forms and it will be ready for us. Okay, one last thing that was left is, that is I just missed out, and that is the data sheet view that we have in this particular form. So I think I should cover up this in this particular tutorial itself. That is a data sheet over here. It very fast, I will show it to you. It is very easy. This is the form. Select the form, that is clicking on this particular rectangle, and the form will get selected. Then click on the format under the property sheet, and over here you have to scroll down, and that is split form data sheet. Okay, split form data sheet. uh, that is okay. Just a minute, let me just come over here. The first thing that you need to do is come to that default view. That is just after the caption, there is a default view. Click over there and you can see there are options. Select the option that is the last option, that is split the form. Select this. Now just come to that is split from database. No, okay, that is okay. Over here you can choose where exactly the data sheet should be. It should be on the top or at the right. I'll choose at the right. Let me just run this. If it works or not, we will check, and you can see it has worked for us. So this is the data sheet at the right hand side, and this is the, you can rearrange that, the size, the width of the data sheet. So this is how you can have it. You can just increase the height of the records, and this is the data sheet. So it's very easy. In the next tutorial we can will talk more about this, and then we'll move forward with this particular software. There are a lot of things we have to do. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Let us meet next time. Bye for now.